All right. Good evening, Michaela. We're going to start the class with you. How are you today? Is everything okay?
Good evening, teacher. Yes, thank you so much.
Great. That's good to know, Michaela. So let's begin, please. Just a quick reminder. Remember that Wednesday is going to be the first oral presentation, right? We only have two. The first one is going to take place this Wednesday, all right? Remember that I already told you everything about the instructions and all the details. But in general, again, the most important things, you need to prepare a presentation. It doesn't have to be with a lot of words, right? It's enough to have some things to guide you as you are working on the presentation. It's going to be 10 minutes, right? Only you. So you have to speak for 10 minutes talking about any topic that you want. There's not a specific structure, remember that. It's only that you need to follow all the criteria that you got on the rubric that is related to pronunciation structures and so on. All right. So for the first presentation, you have a lot of freedom. I just wanted to remind you that. And that's it. We already finished with the first unit. It means that you had to upload the 9 new words plus all the activities that we worked on the first unit, right? And everything is recorded, everything is speaking. You had until yesterday to work on those details. And now today we're starting with the second unit, and we have new activities, new recordings, and you should also upload everything until Thursday this time, right? You have until Thursday this week to upload the vocabulary with the 9 new words, plus definition, plus examples, and all the activities that you do in class with me this second unit. So that's it. I want to know if you have questions or comments before starting the second unit, Michaela. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, thank you.
Okay, let's start then. We have more strategies, right? Remember, the main idea here is about practicing speaking, and that's what we're going to do. Here you have access, as always, to all the material, because here, besides from the presentation, you are also going to use with me an extra document that is a script to read it, to practice accents, all right, to practice different accents. But to get there, again, we're going to go to speaking strategies 2. It means that per strategy, we're going to have one activity, not all of them, but most of them, and we're going to keep recording the words. Now, this is something that you already had to do for the first unit, is the 9 new words plus the definitions and so on, right? But this is going to be part also of this unit, and you don't have to record this first strategy. This is something that you can do until Thursday, right? And it's not only for unit 2, it's for every unit that you need to do this. But let's read this strategy, please, Mika. Expand your vocabulary.
Okay, learning new words day in, day out is a good way to widen your vocabulary. Commit to a suitable target. It can be 3 daily words or it can be 10 daily words.
Thank you very much. Now, let's try to understand, again, this is just to practice speaking. Let's try to understand some expressions and words that we got here. For example, the first expression is day in, day out. How can you explain that expression? You can tell me just an explanation, or you can tell me a synonym if you want. What do you say, day in and day out?
Could be like, well, I am not sure, but maybe it could be like one day yes, one day no, one day yes.
Yes, this gives that impression, right? When you say day in, day out, all right? But actually, this means every day, all right?
Okay.
Again, it's a little bit strange, but day in, day out means daily, okay? You should practice in a different way, but you should practice daily. In this case, you should learn new words every day, all right? It's a good way to widen your vocabulary, right? Something wide, and to widen something means, again, to make it bigger, right? To expand, as it says here, all right? But that's not something I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask these two words over here, commit and target. And actually, not target, suitable. Okay, so first let's start with commit. This is a verb, right? So how can you explain the verb commit?
Commit is like compromise with myself, maybe.
Okay, good. To commit to something, not always to yourself, but yes, in this case, it's going to be to yourself, right? To engage in something, right? To, yes, to have a compromise related to something that you want to do. But yes, that is correct. Perfect. What about suitable? What is something suitable?
Suitable. Um, Maybe it's like a personal, well, in this case, target, but target could be like objective, like a specific objective.
Yes, correct. Everything is correct. You're right. Suitable is something that suits you, right? What's something that suits you? Something that works for you, something that is made for you, right? So if you say personal, it's also very well, right? So that's correct. Suitable, it means that it works for you, that it's great for you because it suits, right, your body, it suits your mind, it suits you in a certain way. And again, it means that it's like made for you. And target, yes, in this case is like objective. So in other words, they are telling you you have to engage to an objective that you know that you can achieve, right? That's what they are telling you in other words. It means something that you know it's for you. Because if you say, I'm going to learn 20 words every day, and you know that you don't have the time, it means that it's not suitable, right? And if you know that you can only learn 3 or 4 words per day, and you know that you have the time to do it, then it is a suitable target, right? So the recommendation is that it can be 3, it can be 10. Of course, you have to try to do something that you know that you are going to do it. But again, here, this is something we are not going to record now, Kala, because remember that this is an activity that you're going to record this week until Thursday, right? And remember that you have every weekend. Well, this is an activity that you have to complete every weekend, and more than weekend, every week, or every unit, better said, because the units now are just 2 days. So every unit. So you know what you are supposed to do, right? 9 new words plus the definitions and also examples. In this case, they give you a recommendation because this is not going to be like the maximum, Michael. In this case, all right, you can use a little bit more, but it's advisable to use 2 minutes maximum. All right, that's why it has to be the word, definition, and example. And then you're going to upload these to Google Classroom, right? Unit 2, the second week in class activities. But again, this is something we're not going to do now. It's just a reminder, and it's a strategy that you have to take into account to, let's say, improve your vocabulary, to extend your vocabulary, and improve your speaking skills. All right, so that was mainly a type of review. Now, this is the first real activity that we're going to work on today. Improve your pronunciation. Let's read this, please.
Okay, you may know a lot of words, but if you fail to say them correctly, you will not be understood. Use online dictionaries with pronunciation, Cambridge, Oxford. Use English.
All right, there you go. Now, this is very simple, right? In other words, you know this. This is not new. Of course, everybody knows that we have to, let's say, improve our pronunciation. Because again, this is something interesting. If you know a lot of words, but those words are not pronounced correctly, right? And you are with native English speakers and they don't speak Spanish, so that they don't understand why you changed that. It sounds off, and sometimes it makes it harder to understand what you want to say, right? And the main idea of language, of course, is communication. So that being said, First, we're going to do something. We're going to go to you. I think I showed you this before, Michaela, to you, to Karen, when you were with me in previous courses. And it's just a very interesting web page that you can use to look for words or even expressions, phrases, and to listen to that in context so that the meaning is clear and so that you can practice the pronunciation, all right? But to remember, all right, a little bit about this, I'm going to go to with that word, all right? What do you remember about this word? I believe that I looked for this word with you. Do you know what is the pronunciation? We have two possible pronunciations for these words. Michaela, I don't know if you remember the two types of pronunciations for this
one. Advertisement. Just one.
Okay, good. That's one. Now let's listen. We're going to listen to mainly the two main accents, right? The US accent and the UK accent. So let's listen to the US, all right? We're going to listen to how they pronounce it. And give me 1 second. Okay, it's loading. I'm going to share this out of my computer. It's without sound. All right, so let's listen to this one. I'm going to play just two in the US, two in the UK, and you're going to tell me the difference in pronunciation, all right?
Advertisement for your product. And so, advertisement for your product. And so,
well, when people see a 5-star pool in an advertisement, they make assumptions. Well, when people see a 5-star pool in an advertisement...
Okay, that's the first. Of course, that's from the US. Now from the UK.
It's a massive ethical issue which is compounded by this horror. This is a regular advertisement in the London. It's a massive ethical issue which is compounded by this horror. This is a regular advertisement in.
These were well known as Waterloo teeth as an advertisement. The idea was that rather than having, these were well known as Waterloo teeth as an advertisement.
All right, so what do you say? Again, it's a little bit weird. I don't know why I'm listening to this very, very softly. My volume is at top and I don't know, something weird. But were you able to listen to the four of them and the difference between the US and the UK in the terms of this word, Michaela? Let me know, please.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what can you tell me then about the difference? And you can read it aloud for me.
I think in the American in American English the stress is in at, and in British English the stress is in I. Advertisement.
Yes, correct. And there's also one difference. And the stress, yes, there are two main differences, the stress and the pronunciation of one vowel. What is the vowel that is pronounced differently in both cases, Michael? I don't know if you spotted that. What is the vowel that is pronounced differently in American English and in British English? Is it the A? Is it the E? Is it the I? You have those three vowels. What of those is pronounced differently?
Maybe in the second E, but I am not sure.
All right, close. It's actually the I, right? This I. Why? Because remember, American is, read it. How is it in American English? We'll read the word in American English.
Advertisement.
Now in British?
Advertisement.
Correct. So what is changing? The I, right? The I is changing this word. So in American English is advertisement. And actually the stress is going to be here, right? advertisement, advertisement. And this is I, right? I. But in British English, this is advertisement. I don't know why this is not working, right? So the stress is in this first part, and let me just, well, it's not working. I don't know why. Good.
The idea was that rather than having...
and the stress is in ver, and this is not I, this is E, right? So one more time. American, advertisement, and British advertisement, advertisement, right? So the I changes to E. So good, that's one example, all right? That's one example in how the words can change from American English to British English, and it depends on the accent, right? And many things can change in that, on that regard. There's one also word that changes, right? If you remember this one, this word, right? What do you remember about this word, Mikael, and how is the different pronunciation?
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe either.
Yes, I think you're there. Is either or either, right?
Either.
Or either. Which one is more common in the US? What do you say? Is it either or either?
Either?
Yes, correct. You also use either in the United States, but only in some states, some places. But the most common is either. And either is more common in the UK. And you're going to see here, sometimes you can listen to either and either, but most common is either. Let's listen to some of them. This is the US.
Right now, so it's better suited for either really early adopters,
right, so
who
this
kind
is
of
US,
get it.
and she's saying either. But again, in the US, you can listen to either or either, but either is more common.
Technical theater classes,
right?
either
Also here, he says either, and one more.
Of your life. There's no rule
and
either.
Here he says
how
either,
fast.
Right? So again, here you have 2, 1. Okay, so the US can be either or either, but it's more common to say either. And now to the UK. Okay, just a couple or 3 as well to see the percentage more or less that we get there.
On either side,
close there. On either side, right? Either, directly either.
Faced rather an unpleasant choice. It's almost as though
right?
either you accept the doctrine.
Also, 2 out of 2 to either, and one more.
He slung braces of pistols on either shoulder.
Right, and one more time, on either shoulder. So here in British English, the 3 out of 3, it's either. Of course, we cannot make statistics with that. It doesn't work like that. But I'm just showing you what I was telling you, that British is either, and American is either, but in American, you can also change to either. All right, so again, I'm showing you this web page because this is very important for you to practice. It doesn't matter how well you know the language. There are always new words, and even words that you know that can have different meanings, that can be pronounced differently. So it's important that you can play with pages like Youglish so that you can understand the difference. And here you have directly everything with subtitles. Even if this is not generated with subtitles, this web page is going to give you the subtitles. And if you're able to see something I did here, it's very slow. But if you click on every word, they are going to give you also like a definition, many things about that specific word. All right, so again, it's a very interesting and a very, very good page to practice your English, your pronunciation, and the meaning in context. All right, so with that said, let's go to the first activity related to this strategy. And it's going to be this one. Let's read, please, the activity, Mikael.
Okay, listen to these audio files and practice in class following the teacher instructions. Record yourself reading a script for 1 minute. Upload your recording to Google Classroom, Classwork Unit 2, second reading class activities.
There you go. Thank you very much. Now, I believe that this is related to imitating an accent, and you're going to read, all right, one script. Let me just verify that it is what I'm telling you. Yes, it is. So this is also something that you can use. This is in the presentation, so you have access to the link. This, the International Dialects of English Archive, okay, it's an archive that gives you access to a lot of recordings from around the world. Look, Africa, Asia, Australia, the Caribbean, Central America, right, Europe, Middle East, North America, South America. And if you go to any of those, you have even more. For example, again, we're going to go to the most common, North America, and we're going to go to the United States, right? And here you select by state, and every state is going to have an example of a person reading something. Okay, and here you have male, female, and you have the age. The thing is that with this, you can also practice understanding different types of accents, okay, from around the world. Now, what I'm going to do first before doing the activity, I'm going to play a couple of them, and you're going to try to tell me what you were able to understand, all right? And also you're going to try to tell me the differences that you spotted between those two recordings. Okay, so this is from the United States, Illinois, and this is the first one. Let me play it for you. Okay, let's.
This
white light. So I hope that you can listen to this. Again, I don't know why I listen to this very, very softly. I'm going to turn up my microphone. Listen to this for just 30 seconds. I'm going to play it 2 times, and then you tell me what you were able to get. All right, let's listen, please.
Drops in the air. The International Dialects of English Archive. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above, and its 2 ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
That's one time. Again, I hope that you can listen to it. I don't know why I cannot even turn up the volume a little bit more, but this is the second time.
Light strikes raindrops in the air. They act as a... This recording, Illinois 1, is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above, and its 2 ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Good. Again, this is extra practice. This is not part of the activity. But what can you tell me about it? What were you able to understand from this audio file?
Okay. He was talking about the rainbow. He was explaining that a rainbow is formed by the light. The light, I am not sure, but between something is composed, but by beautiful colors. And also he was talking about the legend of a recipient with gold at the end of the rainbow, and the many people look for this recipient.
Okay, Good. Perfect. No, I thought I was without my microphone, but I'm looking for, because we have two scripts here. All right, I want to find the second one because mainly they work with one that is the one that you can find on Google Classroom. All right. Now, this is the second one that they read just in exceptions. This is one of those exceptions. That it's about the rainbow, right? They are describing the rainbow. They're describing also some metaphors about the rainbow. Why is it impossible to reach what? The end of the rainbow, right? Or even where it starts. And they say something like, for example, when something is beyond your reach, it means you cannot get it, you cannot do it. They say that you want to get to the right end of the rainbow, to the goal pot, right? Because it's set in legends, right? That the end, or the end of the rainbow, or what the rainbow, or how the rainbow is produced, is via this pot of gold, right? And you have leprechauns, and that gold produces the colors of the rainbow, right? And again, that's part of legends, but that's what they are reading. And it's interesting because, again, I'm going to tell you why we're doing this. We're going to listen to one more. It's to notice the difference in reading and in pronunciation, all right? In the sense of, and also I'm looking for this because you can explore this by yourself. And if you want, you can also send your sample. I believe that there's only one recording from Bolivia, all right? And it will be interesting, all right, that some of you can try to do it. You can give your number and everything, your region, because they accept recordings from around the world. And again, this is useful because you can get to know the difference. But if I don't find let's say, the script, the one script that, okay, here it is, I believe. There you go. Okay, so this is what he was reading, and I was playing until this part. So you're going to read it now, please. Okay, this was the first one, and they read it until this part, this one over here. Let's read that until that part, please.
Okay. Sorry, teacher. I need to record this.
And not yet. You're going to record one thing, but it's another script. Well, you're going to listen to one more thing first, and then you're going to record that script.
Okay, thank you. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prince and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its part high above and its two ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
There you go, right? So again, we're talking about the rainbow. First, like a very clear and a scientific explanation, right? White light divided into many beautiful colors that has two ends, right? But according to legends, what's there is what? It's a pot of gold, right? And again, you've seen that in many movies, perhaps, or you've heard that before, right? But we know how this is, but this is just part of the reading. Now, I believe that it is here, so I'm also going to add it because they were only letting you add one, but I found it, okay, now with you. So this is the rainbow passage. I'm also going to add it just in case. And we're going to get to, let me just, please, I'm going to upload it here, and it's going to be here. All right, good. So this is one of the passages that they let us have there. Now, I don't know why I closed it, but I'm going to play one more, and it's very likely that we are going to read now the second passage, because that's the most common. Now, we're going to go to Europe, to the second most common accent, that is from England. Right? Great Britain, you know, it has three main regions, right? One of them is England. And you have here divided in like a cardinal way. Okay, so you have the southwest, the southeast, and the northeast, northwest, the London, that is the most common way, or most common accent, sorry, and many more. All right, usually the north accent or the northern accent is a little bit more similar to the Irish accent. That is one of the hardest, right? Not every time, but we're going to try to listen to some of them. Here, this is a female, 20, Manchester. Let's try to listen to her. And again, I'm going to play it 2 times, and you're going to try to explain what you understood. I believe that she's going to read about the script that I want you to read. Let me verify.
This recording, England 10, is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive.
The Rainbow Passage.
Again. All right, so today we're finding just those exceptions. But let's read or listen to this, please. Then, now that I have also the script for that one, let's listen to this also 2 times, but you're going to tell me what are differences do you notice in terms of speaking, okay? Let's remember, I didn't give you one correction here. I'm going to do it now. All right. About this script, all right, the Rainbow Passage. There you go. And this is something actually we're going to read then to record, now that we're listening to this one. So this one, remember, is going to be find, right? It's going to be like I. Then you have in American, the one that we listen to, is sunlight, strikes, raindrops, air, prism, right? The prism, rainbow, one more time, beautiful colors, shape, round, arc, right? Arc, beyond, boiling pot, gold, find, something, rich, and that's it. Okay, those are some words that can change. So pay attention to that one, to the way I read it as well. Now she's going to read it for you, and please, I want you to identify differences that you can recognize in terms of accent. All right, so here we go. I'm going to play it 2 times.
Is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive.
The Rainbow Passage. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colours. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above and its 2 ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Okay, so that's the part. I'm going to play it once again. And again, try to identify differences in how she pronounces the vowels and the consonants and the overall words. All right, so here we go. This is the second time. Then you give me your opinion on that. And then we start the practice by recording.
England 10 is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive.
The Rainbow Passage. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colours. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above and its 2 ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
All right, so what do you say, Miguel? What do you notice that is difference between this reader and the one that we got from the United States, from Illinois?
Well, to me, the main difference is the pronunciation is like with I and good at the same time. I am not sure how can I explain. Also, the vowels are I am not sure how can I explain, but it's like more direct.
Yes. I think it's a good analysis. It's hard, of course, right, to analyze differences in accent. It is, right? But you can notice that, yes, there are differences in terms of the vowels, in terms of the consonants, right? There is actually a very noticeable difference, right? Sometimes they add or they pronounce that directly as you're saying. In British English, you have the O, for example, right? The O. But actually the O is a vowel that you very unlikely pronounce in American English, right? Because they changed that O to an A, something more wide, more open. So yes, they sometimes can pronounce the words directly, differently from the American English, right? But also they have some other changes and extra vowels, right? If you listen to the word that I'm going to play for you, that it was air, right? I don't remember the exact part. Air, right? That in American is going to be like air, right? In the air, in the air. So let's listen to that first part, just that part, to see if there's a difference. So in American English, it would be in the air.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a...
Right? She doesn't start even with the e, right? Like air, like in American English. She plays with the vowels differently.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a...
It's more open, right? And as you said, sometimes even more direct, like an a. It sounds more like an a than an e, but in a different way. Again, those are little details that are going to make a person notice if you are, right, using American English or British English. Of course, both of them are correct, but it's important to notice the difference to practice maybe, okay, and to improve our listening skills. Because if you get to travel, you're not going to find American English everywhere, right? You're going to find accents. And that's what you mostly are going to find, accents. So to record, and now this is something you're going to record, please. Michaela, I wanted to play the other script that is on Google Classroom, but now that, all right, because of fortune, we got to play 2 times the same script, and this is like 20% of all the scripts, because they mainly read the one that I got for you. But again, as we got one from Illinois, I believe that it was clear. I'm going to play this, and please, at the same time, you're going to read it. I'm going to try to see 1 minute, okay? And you're going to read that 1 minute afterwards. So please, let's pay attention. Let's listen to every word, because you have to be careful with pronunciation. The idea of recording this is you practicing pronunciation as well. Okay, so please follow the script with your eyes as you're listening to the man reading this script. I'm going to see where is 1 minute.
This recording, Illinois 1, is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above, and its 2 ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I was born in Ottawa, Illinois, near Earlville, where I was raised for the first 18 years of my life. My dad was a farmer, and he...
Now it seems that he's not reading everything. All right. Perhaps they just made him read a part, then they are asking him questions. All right. Again, it can happen if the person was interviewed directly, but more or less he got to read until the second 30 something, and it's not far from where we were reading. Okay. So I imagine that I'm going to add just these extra ones. So this is the part until you are going to read. If you get to read more, please do it. The idea is, please, that you read 1 minute. Okay? Try to read it until this part. If you get until that part and you have 1 minute, that's enough. Okay? If you see that you're using more than 1 minute, you can stop over there. If you see that until this part, it was only 40 seconds or 50 seconds, you have 10 more seconds. Okay, so keep reading 10 more seconds until you have 1 minute in total. Okay, but more or less, you should have the 1 minute until that part. And again, read. It doesn't have to be very slow. Also, it doesn't have to be very fast. Read it at your own pace. Try to pay attention again to the pronunciation. As you know, American English, try to keep that accent there. And that's it. That's what you're going to do now, Kara. You're going to try to read this until that part. But if you see that it's, again, less than 1 minute, read a little bit more. If you see that you're going to use more than 1 minute, stop at 1 minute. Okay, the idea is that you have 1 minute exactly. Let's do it, please. Let me know if you're ready, Michaela.
I'm ready, teacher.
Good. Let's start then, please. You can start now. Okay, we should be stopping there, please. If it was 1 minute, upload it and let me know when you uploaded the file in the second unit. Okay, unit number 2.
Sorry, teacher. I accidentally erased the file.
All right, don't worry, it happens. Let's use them 1 more minute. Okay, 1 more time. This time I'm going to wait for you. Record it 1 more time, please, Michaela. Use 1 minute for that. Upload it. I'm going to be waiting for you and let me know when you do it.
Okay, thank you so much, teacher.
All right, no, you're welcome. Let's do it, please. I'm going to be waiting for you.
Teacher, can you see my file?
Okay, let me verify. I'm also going to listen, and with that, we're going to finish today. We have more strategies, but again, we're going to try to cover most of them on Wednesday, and then the rest of them are going to be for you directly, okay? But again, it was important to show you these web pages and practice with that. Now, let me check if I see your file. Remember, it was in Unit 2. Yes, I can see it here, Michaela. So let me play it. I give you a short review, and we finish the class with that. Let me use at the same time all right, that one. And let me make it, right, let me zoom out so I can read some of the words and I can give you very specific corrections. Okay, so let's begin. Be waiting for you.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and
Good. And remember, again, these are going to be corrections recommendations. Remember, if we're going to try to use one type of accent, in this case, the American, you can try to keep that accent. So here, again, air, the way they pronounce it in British is going to be okay. Air, it's close to a, but it's not like a real a, right? It's closer to the a than the American, right? So you have two options. It can be the air or air, right? Air. So those two, but don't make it that directly, because if not, it sounds directly from Spanish. All right, just a little bit more wide open and not directly an a. Okay, so one more time, it should be air or air, one of those two.
Form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arc with its path above and its two ends apparently beyond the horizon.
Good. And this one is going to be E, like beyond, right? And the stress over there, beyond, and horizon. Let's repeat those two, please, Michaela. Beyond and horizon.
Beyond, right. Sorry? Beyond
Horizon.
horizon.
Horizon. Good.
The horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it.
And there it's correct, but don't forget about the S. No one ever finds it, right? With that S at the end. So let's read that one more time, please. No one ever finds it.
No one ever finds it.
Good.
When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Throughout the centuries.
Good. This just a little bit more emphasis in the first part, like throughout. Let's repeat that one, please.
Throughout. People have explained the rainbow in various ways. Some have accepted it as a miracle without physical explanation. To the Hebrews, it was a...
This is going to be like Hebrews.
Token that there will be no more universal floods.
And floods, right? This is one of the exceptions, right? And universal floods. Good. I believe that it's good. All right. In general, it's pretty good. Just again, take that into account about this word, air, and these words over here, beyond, horizon, and the one I don't find it. What else? And throughout, right? But everything else seems to be pretty good. And again, the idea of this is reading, practicing, listening to yourself as you read anything. We're going to get back to this page in future strategies. Michaela, I think on Wednesday we're going to go to this webpage once again to read one script, that is the other script that I told you about. So it's good that we have that. And that's it. On Wednesday also we start first with your presentation. So we're going to try to start please at 8:30 or 8:35, let's say. Okay, let's try to start 8:35 until 8:45. 5 minutes for let's say questions and feedback, so that we have the time to finish everything else. That's it for now. I don't know if you have any questions to finish today's class, Michaela. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, thank you so much.
Okay, no, you're welcome. As always, please, I'm sending the survey. It's launched. Yes, let's fill it out, please. And once again, thanks for being here. Have a good night. Remember, you have until tomorrow to, no, yes, you have until Thursday, sorry. Until Thursday to upload the 9 new words. And that's it. In class, you keep working with me. Don't forget about the presentation. And that's it. Have a good night. See you on Wednesday, Michaela.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.